Hello, guys.
Welcome to episode 39.
9.
Banana Boys podcast. We're currently outside. I'm Jaden.
And I'm Andrew. We're currently at
Undisclosed location
undisclosed location. If you know, you know.
in beautiful British Columbia.
Actually,
the
maybe you
BBC.
can't even tell.
That's the best part about it.
Even if you live here. Actually, could you tell?
No.
I don't know. It just looks like nature, grassy vibes. It's giving nature vibes.
It's
so.
like, it's kind of an area where it's like, you'll know the area, but you wouldn't know this is here.
Yeah.
That's what I think about
You
it.
don't know where it is. It's just a
Um,
nice, it's a nice area. Very quiet. But anyways, we're outside. Decided to switch it up. Getting bored of the indoors.
This all started from a TikTok you sent me.
Yeah. Shout out to that TikTok for the name.
You sent me a TikTok and you're like, yo, we should do this outside. I'm like, yo, I've been thinking about that. We should do it.
You didn't tell me.
It wasn't that I didn't tell you. Well, I didn't tell you, yeah. But also, I didn't know where.
You just brought it up and we figured it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think I like the look. Looks very naturey. But the sun's blasting my eyes right now, so I don't know if that's ideal.
You have the better spot, too, because you're not facing the sun directly.
You can move this.
No, I'm fine. I have sunglasses.
Yeah, should brought my
But-
bucket hat. But yeah, I think it looks cool. Anyways, let's get into it.
Yeah.
I don't know where we're getting into.
I want to ask you a question.
Oh, that's okay.
Because I was thinking, okay, so this basically brought up because I have a bunch of friends in Vancouver who are from the east side, right?
East side.
And they go to schools in the west side.
Mm.
And like, I kind of thought about them, like, okay, that's kind of weird because like catchment and shit. And then I think about kids that went from Delta to school in Richmond, like a private school. I'm thinking like, why the fuck do kids go to schools that are outside of their catchment and shit? Then I realized later on, like when I started thinking about more, I'm like, oh, actually, it's because like the connections you make.
The parents bring the kids to
Schools outside the
outside
catchment.
the catchment because of the connections they make.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like, you go to school and like outside catchment, it's like, oh, like all the parents, like they're CEOs of random companies. So like if you want internship after graduation, it's much easier to get than if you went to like a school in your catchment where there's not as many of those people,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So basically, long story short, the question I want to ask you is, do you genuinely believe the incentive program gave you any, like do you think it actually gave you an advantage in any way?
Give me advantage in terms of
In terms of real
what?
life, like
In
not
terms of real life.
like in terms like not including university applications, because
That
that's
didn't
all like we talk about. University subjective, right?
It didn't
Depending
help,
on
but
where
yeah.
you want to go in life. But like in your actual life, like when you look back on your very short life so far,
Yes.
do you genuinely believe the incentive program gave you any real benefits,
That's a
as opposed to
very-
me who just went to regular school?
Very interesting question. So let's see. If I look back at my high school years and if I think about the incentive program. So incentive program, for those who don't know, it's the accelerated program at our high school. Basically for the quote unquote, I was gonna say gifted students.
And I'm gonna
It's
and
not the gifted
honestly,
students.
incentive only exists at this one school technically.
Well, there's IB.
The
Richmond
name of
High.
incentive though,
Oh,
calling
sure.
it incentive.
But there's a
so-
lot of these types of programs in high school. It's just the accelerated
Yeah,
program.
but calling it incentive kind of gives away where it was. So being straight up, Palmer is not the greatest school in the world.
It's a school.
It's a good school. I'm grateful for all this shit. But at the end of the day, it's Palmer. So it's like, do you think incentive really gave you an advantage as opposed to maybe going to like Richmond High or like maybe Churchill or some shit?
Okay. You're saying, okay, let's see. So if I think about the incentive program, the only advantage you gave me was that I think school-wise, honestly, maybe not. Nothing. I don't think it gave me anything particular. Maybe it put me in an environment where my peers were more studious and book oriented,
Yeah.
right? So maybe it helped me push through. Okay, study harder.
Yeah.
Maybe I wouldn't have been like that if I was in a different environment, because maybe those peers in the different environment
Yeah.
wouldn't be as
No,
focused at school.
I wasn't studying. I'll admit that.
Right? I'm just saying, right? So maybe it helped in that sense.
Yeah.
But I will also argue, like, if I got into it because I was like that already, but maybe the environment also pushed me to. So both ways. But in terms of helping, in terms of like actual real life help,
Yeah.
maybe it's just the friends I made, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm still connected.
Yeah.
So I think that's like the biggest thing of the incentive program, is because you're with the same cohort of students since grade 8
Yeah.
and probably grade 12.
But the thing is, I want to say about that too is like, we went to a very small high school.
That's also
I
the
was
thing.
never in the incentive program, but I'm still cool with all you guys. So
That's-
was that really an advantage per se? Because we always saw each other still. Like the school's not that big.
I don't think I would have saw them as often though. Saw you guys as often. Because we were in like in every class. We went all field trips.
True.
Grade 8 to 10,
True.
12. So I think that definitely made us closer and more inclined to stay as friends.
True.
Even after high school.
But is it really an advantage though? Because you can say the same thing about being in the regular program. Like I saw the same kids all the time.
I don't know
too.
if it's an advantage, but it was a plus of
Okay.
being in the program.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think you're losing out on anything if you. The only thing you're losing out if you were the center program is the trips.
Yeah.
Right. That was fun.
Yeah.
The trips and maybe academically.
Yeah.
Because it is accelerated, right? You might take AP.
Yeah.
Earlier, but I didn't even take AP.
Yeah.
So, in conclusion, is there a real advantage to the center program? It depends.
Would you say that?
Maybe academically. Yes.
Would you say that the incentive program gave? Okay, the incentive program definitely gave you an advantage, compared to like regular program at Palmer, right?
Yes.
But would you say it gave you an advantage in general, like kids from Churchill or kids from like fucking McGee or some shit, or like Van Tech or Vancouver? I'm just naming random schools. I don't know how good these schools are, but like
it only gave an advantage if I took more like AP courses. I think.
Yeah.
Because then that counts as university credit.
Okay.
And I wouldn't have to take. I wouldn't have to take so many or certain university courses because I already took AP. But I didn't really take that as serious once I hit grade 12.
Because I was thinking like these accelerated programs and shit. So they only gave you an advantage if you decided you're going to university.
Yeah.
But it's like in terms of like real life shit, I just don't think it really mattered.
It'll teach you, like I said, put you in an environment to study hard and work hard at school, which maybe teaches you how to be disciplined in your studies, which is good for school. But if you're like, but that's also a real life practical skill.
Yeah.
At the same time, you have to be like disciplined. So, but would I say the incentive program taught me that? Maybe it taught me how to be a good student. It taught me how to be a good student. But. I think I would still be in the center program as opposed to just being in a regular classroom though, just because of the perks you get from being in the center program.
I think
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I think so. I think I would just went to a better school.
Okay, yeah. If you want like the best education and you want to set your kid for quote unquote success academically, yeah, you wouldn't go to Palmer.
It's really just because like I found out later on. It's like. I remember, I don't want to say it too, because it's kind of give away who it was, but it's like, I was talking to someone one day, and I was like, saying like, oh, like, after graduation, like, what do you plan to do and shit? And they're like, oh, like, oh no, they're mentioning how like a bunch of the parents of the students of, a lot of their classmates, their parents were like fucking high up in companies and shit. They were legitimately offering internships to like high school kids.
Wow.
So once I heard that, I'm like, oh shit, the school you go to actually matters a lot.
I'm sure, yeah.
Like incentive, IB, whatever, doesn't fucking matter. This shit is like, you have to be in certain schools to get that. Like Little Flower Academy or fucking
okay.
like astronomy schools. So I'm like, once I heard that, I'm like, damn.
Oh hell no. Incentive unfortunately wasn't like that.
Yeah.
Right, which is fine.
That's why I brought up the incentive part, because it's like, okay, going to certain schools gives you genuine, like, in my opinion, genuine advantages.
Yeah.
But then just going to accelerated program at any school, it kind of just funnels you in the system quicker, I feel like.
Yeah. It'll help, sure, if you're talking about system as in like education or the school system.
Just the system of school to work to retirement to death.
It funnels you in it quicker.
Yeah.
It'll put you, accelerate it. It'll give you a head start. Like some people graduated earlier.
Yeah.
All right. And that's usually good.
Yeah.
If that's like their goal, right? So putting you into the system sooner, meaning putting you into the courses and graduating sooner, which is usually good.
Yeah.
Right?
Would you, and I'm not saying this because of like the jokes we have behind the scenes, but like when you have kids and shit, would you send them to school? Like let's say we still lived outside Vancouver, in the outskirts, right? Would you still send them to schools in like the best school you can find them, even if it's outside the city?
I don't know. I'll have to like talk to my kid and
Yeah.
be like, obviously I want them to go to a good school,
Yeah.
but it's gonna depend on like I don't want to put so much pressure onto the kid.
Yeah.
Not that saying I won't put any pressure, but I don't want to be like, okay, be that parent that's like, go to this school, get straight A's, and put so much pressure on the
Not
kid.
that, but it's like you're not gonna send them to just like whatever school's in your catchment. Like you're actually gonna look at each school and be like, which one do you think?
Yeah,
is,
I think I
yeah,
would. Yeah, I think I would. And also listen to what my kid
Yeah.
is feeling, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, you have to take in consideration. A lot of their friends are going to
Yeah.
this school, right?
Yeah.
And I'll think about that too, because that's, I think, very important. Yeah, I'll do research on the schools
Yeah.
for sure.
'Cause I
But
think-
it's not like final say.
Yeah.
It's a collaboration.
So I was thinking, like, you know what, if I have the time, like, knock on wood in the future, like, if we both manage to make this shit.
Freaking gun sounds right now. And there's a plane going over right now.
Anyways,
What's that sound?
I think they're hunting.
They're hunting.
I hope so. Oh, duck hunting.
Is it
maybe.
duck season?
I don't know.
It's open season?
I don't know, but it definitely sounded one-sided, so definitely wasn't a fight.
Yeah,
of
it
any sort.
wasn't a.
It didn't sound like a gunfight, so we'll be fine.
I don't know what a gunfight sounds like.
What's I was gonna say? Like, yeah, if we if we both get successful as this podcast shit, and we have like entrepreneurial timestamps, so we don't have to do 9 to 5 and shit. If I have the time and like it makes sense, I would send my kid to West Van. Like,
Van.
not saying I would send them to West Van only, but like I would send them far for school if it makes sense,
Okay.
just so they can be around those kids and shit.
I guess. I would. Yeah, I mean, you want your kid to go to the best school.
I don't care about the grades as much. I just the environment itself.
That's true.
Like, I'm not gonna send them to fucking Palmer. I don't give a fuck. Like, if I live near Palmer, I'm gonna send them to Richmond High. Like, I'm not gonna just send them to whatever catchment there is.
What if all their friends are going to that school?
That's true. I think for me, I feel like I would probably send them to a school within the high school catchment to begin with, so they get funneled through the system of it. Like, I don't know what elementary school is near, like Churchill or like fucking Shaughnessy, but like I'd probably send them there first ahead of time so that they can go into those high schools with friends.
I guess I want to put my kid in a high school that is more in line with the values I want my kids to have. And sure, that's like being not necessarily being good at school, but being good at like learning and making sure the education is good, and but also have a balanced environment where they'll be doing extracurriculars and be involved in team sports. Right? I want to make sure the program there is good.
Yeah.
And sure, if the school doesn't have that, I don't know. But then what if all their friends are going to that school where I don't want my kids to go to? That's going to be a hard discussion to have with the kid.
At the end of the day, parenting is one of those things where like you can say whatever you want right now, but once you have the kid, everything goes out the window. So I think that's something we'll just figure out when the time comes.
Yeah, we said that.
But I probably would like try to like get them in extra programs. Like,
you homeschool your kid?
Nah.
Would you homeschool your kid?
Never.
No?
I would not homeschool my kid.
Why?
I just don't think it's the same reason why they recommend your parent to not teach you to drive.
Why? My dad taught me to drive.
Well, it's not a bad thing, but it's like they recommend your parent because you're too lenient or like you're too comfortable around them, so you do like stuff you can get away with and shit like that.
Is that why I failed 3 times?
Could be.
Okay.
I taught myself how to drive.
Damn. What? Who sat in the car then?
God.
Hey, wait.
Jesus.
Jesus, take the wheel.
My dad taught me. No, my dad taught me a little bit. My mom taught me more, and then I took like 2 lessons, and then just got my licenses.
Oh, okay.
The lessons was really like a week before the test, just to make sure. Because my parents are like, they know my driving, but if a stranger doesn't know my driving, then it's like you get to know more.
Right.
Like he was like, yo, you're backing up too quick. Like, yeah, you're in the middle, but like that was a little too fast. Like, I don't know you like that.
Right.
I'm like, okay. And then he's like, your instructor doesn't know you like that. I'm like, okay.
You got both licenses on the first try?
Second for both.
I'll say 2 tries.
The first one was because I was driving a Corolla for the longest time, like for the lessons. Not longest, but like I took 2 lessons before my end test. I was driving a Corolla, and then I hop into my at the time it was a Civic,
Mm.
much wider car.
Mm.
My dad also drives with the seat all the way back,
Mm.
which I didn't know about. I was so used to driving that car with the seat back.
Mm.
So when I'm pulling over and shit, I couldn't see over the hood. Right?
Yeah.
It was my first time driving that car in 2 months. I was driving a Corolla, took 2 lessons, hopped in the Civic the day of the test.
Yeah.
So I wasn't familiar with the car.
Yeah.
Me driving to the testing was me getting used to the car again. So I would like half-ass the shoulder check just to make sure I wouldn't curb the wheel, because I don't know how wide this car is anymore. And then
So they failed you.
I failed because I missed 3 shoulder checks. And I got on the
so
second
annoying.
try. And then my class 5, I got on the first try.
Okay.
Class
same.
5 was first try.
Same. Yeah. Richmond.
Class 5 I got on the first try because it was my car.
Mm.
I had that car for a couple of months already, so I was super used to it. So everything was good. Parallel park, easy, all that shit. Boom, 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 done.
So you want to teach your kid to drive?
I would take them out to drive, but I would definitely make sure they get lessons before.
Yeah,
the
I got
test,
lessons too, though.
just so like they know what they need to do.
Right. Exactly.
But I don't know, I feel like we're fine. I feel like driving is like a genetic thing, Loki. I feel like if you're good at, I feel like if you're athletic, you're more likely to be a better driver just because of the reaction time.
I'm sure. Yeah. You know, you need to have good reaction time. You need to have good feel of the vehicle. It could be genetic, but it's also
Quick thinking.
It can be learned. Maybe it's just easier to learn for
Some people don't know how to drive though.
That's true.
Some people will never know how to drive.
That's true. This is fear of the driving.
Yeah.
Quick word from my sponsor.
You want to do it?
Yeah, let's just do it. So I guess this is kind of our first sponsor-ish.
Apart from the Chinatown BIA.
Chinatown, I guess that was more like a collaboration is a sponsor.
Yeah.
So I guess
Collaboration is a new sponsorship.
that's true. So I guess Chinatown was kind of our first sponsor. This is our second sponsor though, kind of.
Technically third, because Chinatown was 2
Okay.
different companies.
This is a sponsor, okay? Because we had to literally make a sponsor post for this.
Yeah.
So if you're seeing this, actually I might be cut off.
Well, we can model
We'll
it later.
cut away. Well, I'll shoot another one. But this is
Okay, so basically, we got message from this company called Sub9ulture. If you're Cantonese, like I am, and you're also very slow at counting, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 is go.
I don't know if you can see.
So it technically means subculture. So yeah, shout out to Longinus. I keep getting mixed up with the watch brand Longines or whatever it's called.
Oh, shout out to Longinus
Yeah.
and his wife Heidi. This is for giving us these hoodies.
Yeah.
If you look at it, they're actually pretty cool designs. Like we genuinely like these hoodies. You know, we're not just doing this to get that free hoodie. We actually like it.
What happened was they were at the Chinatown Festival, same time as us in July. They sold out within 3 hours, I think?
I don't know, but they sold out.
They sold out day of, so they left halfway through the first day and they never came back because they just didn't have any stock left. They followed us in the podcast page pretty much after the festival. I saw their stuff and I was like, oh, it's kind of sick.
Yeah.
But I didn't know who they were. I only, like, local brand-wise, I only fuck with them if, like, can I swear this? But I only, like, fuck with them if I genuinely know them and what they stand for and shit. So I didn't follow them back at the time. And then they reached out again. Well, they actually reached out to us saying, like, oh, we have some new stuff coming out. You know, you want to, like, come check it out.
Yeah.
So
reached out. We worked out a deal and
got to know them.
got to know them, met them, him and his wife.
Haven't had coffee with them yet.
Haven't had coffee with them yet, but they seem like cool people and, you know, supporting local businesses in Vancouver. And these are actually small businesses, not like Lululemon and Raining Chat, Jaden.
Look, here's the thing, right? But it's also like not only supporting local businesses, because like everyone's saying they're local business now.
Yeah.
Everyone's saying they're small business. Like supporting ones that are actually cool.
Yeah.
Like some people, like I think I said this before, like some small businesses are marketing themselves as a small business just to get like pity money. Like, oh, we're a small business, help us out. And like people just buy just because they're small business.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like this is actually like something that's like we actually like. Like I genuinely liked their hoodies before I met them and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, design is really cool.
So
they are the company that started in 2020. They started during the pandemic in Taihang,
which is a district in Hong Kong.
In Hong Kong, so they're Hong Kong based, which moved to Vancouver now. And all of the designs that they have, we'll show it later, or we'll put a screen up.
It's really just because I have the mic right now. I don't want to take this off.
All the designs, as you can see, is like very interesting designs that are very cool, and they all have like these hidden meanings to it.
I have like Cantonese inside jokes too.
Yeah.
You're wearing a large?
This is a size large. It's a Gildan.
Asian Gildan.
Asian Gildan. So the size is gonna fit a little smaller. I'm usually a medium on hoodies, but this is a large.
I'm wearing a double XL.
I have no idea if this is in frame, by the way. So I'm sorry if it's cut off.
We can do it later.
Yeah, but it's a large. Looks cool. If you want this hoodie, link in our bio. Use code BananaBoys10
for 10% off.
For 10% off these hoodies. And to be transparent, we will get a small commission on these hoodies.
Please buy the hoodies through our code.
Please buy the hoodie. This is a way to support small businesses like them and to support your favorite creators.
Wait, you're 5?
I'm 5'7".
Fuck. You're actually 5. I was gonna say you're 5'9". I was like 5'8", 5'9".
This guy.
Are you actually 5'7"?
Why are you laughing?
I didn't know you're 5'7".
I'm not 5'9".
Are you 5'7"?
I swear I'm 5'7".
I didn't know that. I genuinely thought you're 5'9". Okay.
Again, support small businesses and support us. This is like the first opportunity if you want to support us.
I'm just trying to think sizing wise. You're 5'9", what, like 1?
I'm 5'7".
Okay, 5'7". So you're 5'7", what, how much?
At large.
No, like 5'7", how much do you weigh ish?
I'm like 158.
So 5'7", 158. He's wearing a large. I'm like 5'11", 6 foot ish. I don't know, to be honest. Maybe 5'11". I think I'm like 175, 180-ish, I think. And I'm wearing like a 2XL.
Yeah.
So that's your size references.
If it's kind of narrow, so if you have wide lats, might not fit.
It's a great hoodie for the gym because it's like baggy, but it's not baggy in the places where you want it to be baggy. Like you can still see that you have muscle and shit.
Material feels okay, and it's a nice hoodie. So yeah, there you go. Code BananaBoys 10 for 10% off. Link in the bio. Go check it out.
Yeah, go support some like businesses that are small that are actually cool. That's emphasis on cool. Like don't support some bullshit small businesses.
Yeah.
Support some like real sick shit because they deserve it. They're doing some good shit.
Okay, that was the longest ad ever.
That's also a lot of bleeping, but we're keeping it real.
I'm gonna keep it short. Let's check out the AirPod Pros. So how's the AirPod Pros 2?
All right, so
you got the AirPod Pros 2. These are retail price.
I had a Best Buy gift card laying around.
Oh, okay.
So I got a little bit off. Do I have them on right now?
They cost the same as the AirPod Pro 1.
So here's the thing, right? For backstory, I've had all 3 AirPods.
Nice.
I've had the original AirPods.
You like
I had
that?
the AirPod Pros Generation 1.
You like that?
And now I have the AirPods Pro Generation 2, which you can't... I don't even know if you can see that.
You can't see that.
So AirPods Pro...
Looks the same.
Actually, I'm getting into that. So they actually aren't the same.
Whoa, makes
for
a sound.
For a couple of reasons, right? I guess we'll go for that first.
Makes a noise.
The case itself is different. As you see the bottom of the speaker.
Whoa, that's why I heard this noise.
So
that's pretty cool.
It's mainly, the main focus of the speaker is mainly for by the way, I'm not sponsored by Apple.
Yeah,
but
sorry we're like promoting so many products today.
Apple, if you want to come sponsor us, Tim Cook, my boy, like come on, he does a good impression.
Good morning.
I've been fucking with Apple since like 2011. My iCloud's been maxed out since 2013. So
I got all the Apple products.
Hella iPods, hella FaceTimes, hella iMessage games sent to random women, allegedly. I don't do that.
Okay.
But anyway, so yeah, main differences of the case is speakers on the bottom for main reasons, find my iPhone. I mean, not find my iPhone, like finding it so it actually chimes.
Wow. That's actually,
Which is good because I've lost my AirPods before.
That's good.
There's a little lanyard thing on the side so you can actually like hook it to something.
Oh shoot, that's actually pretty cool.
The case itself, I believe, is now compatible with Apple Watch chargers, the puck.
Wow.
So you can just slap it on, you're good.
Well,
that's the main things with the case. I don't know if the case is physically bigger because I gave my old Pros to my dad. He likes them. The AirPods themselves are actually physically a little larger. I noticed that because my ears are tiny. So these AirPod Pro 2s, they're basically the original AirPods with the silicone tips. So they're actually physically larger. That's the main difference with the AirPod itself. Size-wise, they sound way better.
Sound way better. Bass is way better.
There's actually bass. Because, like, look, I think I said this on multiple podcasts. AirPods sound like shit.
They sound terrible, but they're just convenient.
AirPods 1 sounded like shit and there was no insulation. AirPods 2 came around, insulation through the silicone tips, noise cancellation, all that shit, but it still sounded the same. Didn't sound any better. AirPod Pro 2 generation actually sound good.
What about second gen AirPods?
Never got those. I went straight to the Pros and just
Okay.
bought these, but they're all the same.
Yeah.
Everything until the second generation of the Pros
Yeah.
are the same. But like the first couple days of getting these, I wasn't used to hearing bass. So I couldn't wrap my head around the fact that there was actually bass in my ears. Like it actually sounds significantly better. I'm not an audiophile, but these sound good, in my opinion. These sound way better than my Beats. I started wearing these in the gym now, partially because my Beats are starting to give me acne around my ear, just because like the heat and shit. So I started wearing these, and I actually enjoy wearing these in the gym. Like these actually sound good for the gym. Noise cancellation is scary on these. It's significantly better where I can't even hear my washing machine go on.
You can hear a washing machine on the first AirPod Pros?
You can hear it a little bit. But this is like, you can't hear shit.
And these are not over ear too, so that's
these are
pretty
in
good.
ear.
Yeah.
These cancel noise like a motherfucker. Transparency mode, I feel like is better. Like it's just good.
It's just much better. It came out a year later.
Battery life, 2 years.
2 years later, damn.
Yeah, because I sold the first ones during COVID, I think.
Wow, I'm sold.
But
I'll get it.
Same price. The battery life is significantly better. I think Marcus Brownlee said if you're an AirPod person, you'll like these. Like people who just wear AirPods all day, always have headphones in. I honestly suggest you should upgrade to the AirPod Pro 2s. But if you just listen to like how often do you use your AirPods?
On the bus.
On the bus, that's it?
On FaceTimes. On Zoom calls.
So it's not like a shit ton.
Quite often, actually.
I don't know about call quality.
But I was gonna say call quality is the worst thing about AirPods.
How did I sound in the meeting with
shit.
Not Lucian. Longin is.
Yeah.
How did I sound? I sound like garbage?
Yeah.
Okay, so the
I think
quality isn't even better.
No, I think it's better, but actually, I'm assuming it's better. But like, nothing beats the wired headphones still.
Oh yeah.
Because it just has the mic there.
Wired headphones will always sound better than wireless, no matter what.
Yeah, maybe one day. You know, they gotta do something.
I sound like shit in the meeting.
Okay, you don't sound like you're fine. You sound fine.
No, like, genuinely.
Yeah, it sounds fine.
Because
but I can just tell it's the wireless. Like you can tell that quality.
So no matter what, it's just wireless quality. Like it doesn't.
I think it's just the wireless headphones are just really hard to get mics. But maybe one day AirPods Pro 3.
Because I was using those for the calls, so I just want to know how it sounded.
Right. Yeah.
Because I don't know about call quality on those yet, but music wise and just day-to-day life, highly recommend them. If you already have the Pros, it's up to you. I think if you already have the Pros, I would only upgrade if you really want better sound quality. I think if you really want sound quality and battery life, you should upgrade from the Pros to the Pros 2. If you have the original AirPods and you want to upgrade, I suggest getting the Pro 2s. But if you have the Pros and you're fine with them, just don't bother. It's another. They cost the same, but at the end of the day, you're still spending $300 on wireless headphones.
Yeah, if you want to hear more bass in our voices right now, if you're listening to AirPods, search the AirPod Pro.
Yeah,
you're not sponsored.
Turn the bass up.
Or turn the bass up.
Just equalizer.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Yeah, but I really enjoy them. I've had them for 2 weeks now.
2 weeks?
I have them for about 2 weeks.
I got Marquise Brownlee here.
So I've been using them for 2 weeks. They just came out yesterday, but I had them for about 2 weeks.
Yeah, there you go. I would get it if I didn't have it.
Yeah.
I had AirPods.
Your
the
dunks.
AirPods one sucks. My dunks? My real dunks.
You have to say real dunks. Just say you got dunks.
I got dunks. Half size too big. I'm not wearing right now. My review on them, once you get it, and it's just like, okay, you got it.
Andrew, you've been wanting dunks since what, March?
Know. Since a while, yeah.
You've wanted them before you went to Toronto. I remember that.
Yeah, I wanted to go to Toronto.
When did you go to Toronto?
Was that May?
I think so.
Yeah.
Because I was in Victoria, I think.
When Samsung went on a podcast, I was talking about dunks already.
Yeah.
That was like February? I don't even know.
Yeah, he's wanted dunks all year. He finally got them. It's fucking what? It's October.
It's October. I got my dunks for retail. Half size too big.
Yeah.
But that's okay. It's starting to hurt when I wear it because it's too big.
How does it hurt?
Because it creases at the front a little, so it pinches my toes.
That's gross.
So I don't know if I had to find a way to fit it properly, put insoles or something. But the dunks it looks sick.
Yeah.
It looks sick.
You should have worn them.
I know. But I thought we would be in mud.
We could have brought extra pair of shoes. I brought my Air Forces as backups.
That's true. But I still like Air Forces.
Superior shoe.
Air Forces are superior shoes, and they just feel better. They got the air in them, whereas the Dunks are skate shoes, and they're flatter.
The thing I hate about Air Forces is that they're durable.
You hate how durable it is?
No, and this sounds really stupid, but it's like I love crispy Air Forces. Like when my Air Forces are beat up, I don't want to wear them anymore. Like I stopped wearing them.
Why?
Because it's just they look so. In my opinion, mine are so beat up now. I'm just like I treat them like boots. So
Yeah.
it's like I want to get rid of them and get new ones, but I can't justify throwing away good shoes.
You want it to be all white?
I want the creases gone. I want them to be white, but it's like because they're pretty beat up, but they're so durable that they're still in really good condition that I know they will last still. So it's like, why the fuck?
You want it to be so clean that you can like lick it off, like
I
lick
just
food off
like
of
clean
it.
Air Forces, but I can't justify getting rid of my Air Forces because like even though they're like beaten up to shit, they're still in really good condition, low key. Like they're still durable.
That's true.
So it's like, fuck, why are they such a good shoe? Fuck.
Such a good shoe that everyone has, but it doesn't
Yeah.
even matter. Like everyone, if you go on the school bus, if you go on a bus, you the bus to UBC, everyone has one.
I feel like the most popular shoes right now,
Air Force.
Air Forces, Dunks. Are New Balances catching up?
I'm not sure. I just know Air Force is the #1 sold shoe or something.
Yeah. Because I know people are really trying to get after the New Balances now.
Yeah.
So
Dunks. It's a good shoe.
it's a good shoe.
But Air Force is still undefeated.
You got Google Forms on your thing, but did you even bring your...
Now, SMP versus SME.
Yeah, what is that?
So Alex Hormozy, as we mentioned on the multiple podcasts, he has this thing which I thought was pretty interesting. So people always talk about investing early on at a young age, right? Put a couple hundred in your TFSA or whatever, RSP or whatever your states, United States.
401k.
Put into stocks, 401k, Roth IRA, and you put it in, all deposit, don't think about it, and you'll retire at 60 or something. You'll be set for life.
Set for life, retire at 60?
Which, okay, I think it's important to invest. But what this guy is saying, Mr. Hormozy, Moza Nation, he's like, instead of doing that, if you're this young and you don't have that much money yet, that much capital, what you should be doing is actually using the little money that you have, a couple thousand or whatever, invest that in education first, not school. Well, it could be school. But just education in general. Learn a bunch of shit, learn a bunch of things, and like learn a bunch of skills that can increase your income.
Yeah.
Rather than putting tiny bits of $100, $200 a month or week into something that's only giving you an average return of what, 6 to 7% a year? Even less than that, right?
Here's the thing, right? I'll say this really quickly. People always say invest in dividend stocks. Dividends give you a very small percentage. In order for you to actually get a decent income off dividends, you have to invest like $60,000 into a stock to get any level of real return.
Yeah.
So invest in yourself, invest into stocks, blah blah blah. But these stock gurus are lying to you. It's not as what's the word? Like it's not as plentiful as they say it is. Like you got to put in a lot of money to really get any real return.
Yeah, it's interesting though, but then what do you do? Like, do you just not invest if you don't have the money yet?
I think honestly, like what you said, I think it's more it's much more valuable to invest in your present self than I think it's to invest $100 into a stock. That's what I think. Because stocks is a long game. Like
stocks is
you're playing a very long game with stocks.
So instead of putting $100 every month, save that $100, and in a year you have what, $1,200. Use that towards something else.
I think so. Or put maybe, because look, what can $100 even buy you stock wise?
Like one.
It can buy you like one VFV. 1.5 stocks and like Chevron. I think Chevron's at like 50 something right now. No, that's Shell. Shell's at 50 something right now. It can buy you maybe one stock in CIBC. maybe 1 or 2 stocks in like these S&P little ones, like the Bull 3X's, whatever the fuck, you're not getting much.
That's what I always wondered. I'm like, I'm not even buying that many stocks. Like, is it even worth it? Sure, overall, my portfolio is up, obviously,
Yeah.
because it's been a couple of years. But the return is like, okay, it's not accurate now because
Minimal.
everything's freaking down.
It's minimal.
The return's like 6% right now.
Yeah.
And I'm
I'm
like,
down a couple $1,000.
yeah, I'm doing it down.
USD.
Jeez. So then when do you start investing? When you have enough money, when you can put like tens of thousands in it?
I think, and we're not financial advisors. We have to say that.
We're not
I think
financial
if you
advisors.
have the money to invest in stocks, you should do it, but you shouldn't make that your main focus. I think your main focus should be investing in yourself and your education, whatever education is, because education is subjective. But I think you should focus on that, and any money you have left over, if you can afford to put into a stock and you can buy a stock with it, just buy a stock.
Interesting.
But that's money that you won't see for decades, I think.
Stock, yeah.
Yeah. Because, like, you buy, let's say you buy, you buy Tesla right now for $200, right? Because they did a split.
Mm.
You buy Tesla stock for $200. Maybe in 40 years, if everything goes to plan, that one stock will be fucking 500 or some shit. Then you'll be up.
Mm.
But how long did it take for you to get that 300 profit?
That's true. So then what? So then I should just not be investing in stocks right now.
If you have the money for it, I say.
If I'm putting only like 100, 200 a month, then that's not worth it, isn't it?
I mean, where would you put that money elsewhere? Like, could you put that?
Okay, sure. That's a good question too.
Could you reinvest that money into your videography business and for it to make a difference?
Possibly.
So then maybe just look at that, see if you can maybe like skip this month, put it into your videography, because your videography business will make you much more money now. And in the future, if you keep investing in your own business, you'll eventually have more money to invest, and that'll give you a greater return than if you just invest a little bits now.
That's true. So, okay, what we're saying is invest, because investing in yourself now will yield much greater returns than a measly 5%
Yeah.
a year. Because stocks is the long game. It's like 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
Investing in stocks investing in stocks is still important though, right?
Yeah. I think, especially now with inflation and how fucking, especially in Vancouver, like house prices gone up tremendously, immensely, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wages haven't gone up by a ton.
Mm.
So like when our parents were around and shit, when our parents were at our age and shit, you can work any job and still make enough to buy a house. Now, like, you need $100K cash minimum to buy a condo. Like, realistically speaking, you're not gonna make that working 9 to 5 for a very long time until you become like a CEO or a manager, VP, whatever the fuck. If you get paid well,
right?
Maybe then, but it's like normal jobs and shit are not paying enough to fucking buy that shit. You're paying enough to rent maybe.
Yeah.
So it's like you need more income.
Yeah.
So like stocks is almost mandatory. I feel like side hustles are almost mandatory.
But stocks is such a long game.
Yeah.
So is it still worth it?
RSP I think is worth it because you get the first time home buyers, whatever. You can take out your RSP early for whatever the house and shit.
So but the takeaway here is don't focus too much on investing in stocks. Invest in yourself first, in education that can increase your income, that can increase your skill sets, which increases your income. Also, what Nathaniel said too is like you gotta invest in yourself as well. Like not in yourself as education, but invest in your own like health. Sure. Like, right. What's the point of investing in all this money to cash out 80 if you don't even make it to 30? Or you don't even make it to 40 because your health is just shit. Like you gotta take care of yourself before anything else is taken care of. And this is like obviously not everyone has the money to do that. But if you have the money to do it, or you can afford to do it, you should. I feel like. Right. Exactly. I just thought that was an interesting point because I'm like, maybe you see this course. Obviously, there's a lot of scamming course, but maybe this course really helped. And you see it's like a $300 course. You're like, oh, wait, that's like so much money. Yeah. But then you're throwing $300 into stocks, and it's like, maybe this course is gonna like teach you skill sets that are like so valuable. So. Yeah.
stocks are valuable. Like I feel like you need to invest in stocks at some point in your life, especially now. But it's not what they say it is.
Yeah,
Like you're not making that much.
it's a long-term thing that it's more of a safety net.
Yeah, but look. But and I say this now because of where the market is right now. You never know.
You never know.
You
You
never
never know.
fucking know.
So instead of the S&P, you invest in the S and me.
I like that.
Not mine. Credit
I
to
like
Alex
that.
and Rosie. Invest yourself.
I like
Invest
that.
yourself, guys. Buy, just like go to buy some courses. Be careful of scams, and just read books. Books are so cheap.
Can we have a conversation on Andrew Tate now?
Andrew Tate.
Because at the time when we were talking about him, we couldn't, right? We couldn't really talk about it because like the times were very sensitive.
But now people are shifting again.
I don't know if they're shifting,
Because
but like
the top G.
let's just be honest, right?
Piers made him look good.
I didn't watch it.
Because Piers is so bad.
Piers fucking what? Stormy said he walked off set or some shit because he was a little bitch or something. Piers Morgan.
I don't know. Piers just kept interrupting Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate was very patient.
I just want to say like because I've never really known much about him.
Same.
Like I googled him because I kept seeing this bald guy on my TikTok, right? So I googled him. I know who he is background wise. I don't know much about what he said because I just never really gave a shit. To be honest, even when he was getting canceled, I never gave a shit.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, he said that. Okay, that's crazy. Like I didn't really give a fuck.
Yeah.
Look, the Sneeko kid's up, right? What the fuck were we saying in that episode? We're like, yo, you canceled this guy. Another guy's gonna show up.
Well, Sneako's always been around though.
But he's up there now, right?
Right.
So it's like, what the fuck is canceling even doing?
Nothing.
Doesn't do shit.
Well, he's still, yeah.
Donald Trump is still around. Kanye is saying white lives matter.
What is that about?
I don't know. But it's like, what the fuck is canceling?
Canceling happens when you state opinions that offend people.
But it's the fucking internet.
And when it comes to topics like women and gender and all of that, right? It gets like walking on glass, and people are afraid to state their opinions, right? I think because it's scary to get canceled, right? You don't want to get hate comments. So what is canceling? You're saying like, what does it do?
What's the point of it? Like, why do people bother trying to cancel people?
Because people are offended.
But it's like, it's the internet.
Well,
Like,
so?
why? Like,
people on the internet can get offended, which is dumb.
it's like, it's kind of like where people say like, oh, billionaires shouldn't exist, or like fucking, this is like, why are these people not paying taxes and shit? It's like, the system's the system.
The system's a system.
Life isn't fair. You
Life-
just gotta fucking deal with it.
Well, look,
Like,
some people can't handle that. Some people are just very adamant about it, and they want to speak on it because they're offended.
because the thing we were talking about before too is like, when these right wing people come up, and I don't know if Andrew Tate's right wing. I don't even know where the fuck he is on that shit. But when people, I'm saying people like Trump and shit, like Trump and Tucker Carlson.
Mm.
Yeah, when those people show up and shit, and they say all this shit, and you're like, oh, let's cancel them, let's get them off the mainstream platforms, get them to their own shit, right? All you're really doing is just growing their audience, because all the people that are under fucking Carl, whatever the fuck his name, right? They're like, oh, look at the left, they're against us, like he said. Let's just keep going. People on the borderline, like, oh, they canceled him. Oh shit, he is speaking the truth. Let's go. Like, you're just helping them.
Mm.
Like, why don't you just let them roam free on the internet and just teach humans to be smarter and not take everything at face value?
How do you teach humans to be smarter, though?
You don't. Humans are stupid as
That's
fuck.
the thing. But he's still around.
I just feel like this is like a point of evolution for us. Like, I feel like
Well,
we
okay,
can't just...
it's interesting you brought up evolution. I am taking an evolutionary course, evolutionary psych right now. The thing is, where all of our, evolutionary sort of, we still have a very, what's the word here? It's still a very primitive
Yeah.
brain. I forgot the term for it, but it's compared to our environment now. Like, our brain is still the brain for when we were freaking hunting or gathering. Right?
That's the thing I think about. Like, I think physically, we're done evolution. I feel like the human species where we are right now, like the way you look, the way I look, that's it.
No, I don't know about that.
That's what I feel like for now.
Okay.
Until like the environment changes shit. I think for the next 100 years, evolution is gonna be purely mental. Like purely internal brains. Like I think our brains just gonna start processing faster.
You're saying our outer appearance is how we're gonna look.
I feel like
for
that's
the rest
pretty
of
much
the
set
next million years.
until we get wiped out, until extinction.
Oh, interesting.
I think human evolution is just purely internal now.
You think it's all just inside the brain right now?
I feel like that's where it
that
is.
needs to change. Okay, maybe I don't know.
Because of the internet, that's why.
Maybe, but I think you don't think there's any physical changes that would benefit us in the environment that we are in now.
I think our nasal passages will probably expand to help with the pollution.
Okay,
But I don't think...
maybe our fingers will become more better at typing, you know, or become.
But I feel like that's more cognitive than anything else.
No, we just physically like, I don't know, more fingers.
We all have bent pinkies.
Or we'll have like, you know, a place to hold our phone.
We have bent pinkies already.
That's true, but it's gonna be even more comfortable, or like some kind of adaptation. No, I think physically. Well, I don't know, like that's what I meant now, because we're still behind in evolution compared to our environment, because our environment has been moving way too fast.
Yeah.
Sure, brain for sure. I think physical probably too.
Yeah.
But it's hard to say.
But I feel like for now it's more mental than anything else.
Oh, it's still behind. That's why there's like fight and flight responses, right?
Yeah.
And that's why there's anxiety still.
Yeah.
That's like when we don't need to be anxious.
Yeah. But fuck, I'll say. But I feel like this is a point of evolution because like our brain is so like
behind
quick to be our brain's so behind. We're like, oh, this offends us, let's get rid of it. Oh, this hurts, let's get rid of it. Like it's so like primitive. Like you don't like it, get rid of it. It's so primitive, and it's like, why can't we just let this fucker, like, if we have fucking The View, because I hate that show so much.
What's The View?
The View is like this talk show just full of, I don't want to say I hate it because they're women, but I just, because they're all women, and I'll admit that. And I feel like they do that just so they get further. Like, I feel like it's a marketing tactic that they're all women.
Okay, The View, okay.
But like, they're super left-wing, super gossipy left-wing shit. If we let that on cable television, why can't we let fucking Carl whatever the fuck on as well? Like, we have to have both sides. It's kind of like how we had Jeffrey on after Ali. Like, they're very polar opposites. And I feel like that's necessary. Like having Hannah on and then having Alicia on after. Like, we need polar opposites.
That was unintentional though.
I know, but I like that happen.
Yeah.
Because you need to hear both sides of the story. In order to actually use your brain and figure out what's going on. Because if all you hear is left, then you're gonna think left. What if the left is wrong? Like, what about that fucking Kyle Rittenhouse kid? They're beating him the fuck up before he shot people, apparently.
Right. Yeah.
But all we said was, yo, this kid shot people.
Yeah.
The right was saying, yo, they were attacking him beforehand. If we saw both sides, we probably would have realized, yo, he was getting attacked and shot them, and we wouldn't have been so pissed off when he got acquitted. Like, we're missing half the story. So I feel like the same shit, like, we should have Andrew Tate on so that we can bounce him with fucking, who's a super feminist woman? Caitlyn Jenner? I genuinely don't know. Lizzo? Who's the opposite of
Megan Rapinoe?
Who's that?
the lady in the soccer team.
Oh, the girl with the short hair, the pink hair?
The pink hair.
Yeah, like, we should have Andrew Tate on to balance her, Megan.
I don't know if she's that's good either though.
But like, we should have the balance.
Two extreme
That's all I'm
ends?
saying. We should have the balance so that we can actually mentally capture what's actually happening.
Okay, so are you saying cancel culture exists because of evolutionary things?
Yeah.
Which, maybe.
I just think it's
we
stupid.
we pick a side.
Yeah.
And we stay with it. And if the differing opposing view angers us, we're angry and we wanna like do something about it.
Like, look at all the fucking COVID protests that happened. Look at the abortion protests. Look at fucking conservative Christians melting over the fact that the Little Mermaid's black.
Little Mermaid's black?
Yeah.
What?
Apparently. I don't know if it's
New
confirmed
movie?
yet. Yeah, apparently it's confirmed.
Oh, that's
But like,
sick.
the Christians were fucking losing their mind. They're like, oh my God, why are they, like, we should make fucking MLK white. It's like, doesn't fucking work like that.
What?
But I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
we need to have, like, humans see anything opposing to their views and they want to get rid of it so quickly without even considering what's going on. And I feel like that's just stupid as fuck.
It is stupid. But what's the remedy for that? How do we help that? What do
Be
we do?
smarter.
How do we be smarter?
By letting both sides there and like, because what?
How do we let both sides?
What's one of the biggest things we learned in grade 12 English?
I don't know.
You have to think for yourself.
Well, people are thinking for themselves, and that's why they're angry.
but they're not really thinking themselves because they're just spitting out what they're being taught. All these Andrew Tate kids are just being taught Andrew Tate shit and just spitting it out without even thinking about it. Same with
What-
fucking Oprah. They're just
what-
being taught shit and just spitting it out.
I guess. Andrew Tate. What misogynistic comments has he made?
I don't know, to be honest with
Do
you.
you know there's a guy who's walking around interviewing people? Do
Yeah.
you like Andrew Tate? No. Okay. Can you name one misogynistic comment that Andrew Tate made? And they can't
Yeah.
say anything. Do you think it's more just because it's like everyone's mad at Andrew Tate?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the quote unquote cool thing to
I
do
think
because they don't want to be pissed off. They don't want other people pissed off at them if they don't say they don't like Andrew Tate.
I genuinely believe that 60% of the people that wanted to cancel Andrew Tate
They
never
know-
saw his content.
never saw his content.
Yeah.
Right. They're just like, oh, my girlfriend's mad at Andrew Tate. I'm
Yeah.
mad at Andrew Tate.
Or my friends all hate
Or
him.
my friends all hate. Maybe.
Because a lot of my friends, like, they hated him. They're like, yo, we should get him the fuck off, blah, blah, blah. I had a friend who liked him and shit. And I'm hearing both sides. I'm like, I don't give a fuck enough about this guy to really look into his shit.
Mm.
I just think he should stay on just so we have both sides of the story.
Mm.
And they got canceled. I'm like, okay, sure, I guess. But I never actually watched this shit. Like, I don't even know where you watch. I asked you, what, 2 weeks ago? I'm like, where do streamers stream?
Yeah, you didn't even know about Twitch.
I know what Twitch is.
You didn't know that's where they stream?
But I didn't know.
The
I'm
Aiden
like-
Ross.
yeah. Like, I didn't know where streamers streamed. Like, I don't know anything about this.
Yeah.
I'm like, he's a streamer. Like, where the fuck does he stream? Like, I don't.
There's Twitch, there's YouTube,
Yeah, so I just
Facebook.
think. I think we just let fucking creators create shit. And if you don't agree with it, just fucking.
Yeah.
Why don't you agree with it? Think about that. Like,
I don't think you let creators create random stuff because it also can't be literal hate crimes.
Oh, yeah. Like, don't. Like, all those ISIS beheadings, like, get that off YouTube.
Yeah, like it can't be like dark web stuff.
Oh, dark web's on dark web for a reason. Like, it stays there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though.
But I think, like,
But if it's just someone stating their opinions, something, and being strong about it.
Yeah.
And it's just an opposing view.
Yeah.
And it's not a hate crime. It's not being blatantly
Yeah.
racist and sexist and misogynistic. People should be not so sensitive to that.
well, even if it's sexist, misogynistic, it's like. just-
There's blatant sexism, right? And I think you can tell when it is.
Yeah. But it's like, I don't think you should cancel it, low key. Because it's like, just fucking ignore it or some shit. Like, because all you're doing is it's same with the right wing. You're just making the sexist people more sexist. They're like, oh, these fucking women canceled us or some shit.
So you're saying if it's a blatant sexist creator, and he's racist, and he's in the KKK, and he's producing content that's all about that,
I think
platforms should let him be on it.
I think as long as there's no, okay, that's fucking crazy. I think as long as there's no real world repercussions for it, like if people like took his shit and actually attacked someone, get him off.
So it's only when he gets virality you take him off.
Not virality, but like when their actions, when people are taking their word and like doing shit. Like
That's what I'm saying. That he becomes viral and more attention is on him, and
But
the
not,
people.
not viral. Like I'm saying, like when ISIS put their rhetoric out on YouTube
Mm.
and people start bombing shit, then they should get the fuck off. But if no one's physically doing anything in the world, like if no one's beating up women and shit like that, I think it's just fine.
But isn't letting those types of creators on there with that type of content makes allows the potential for people to see it and want to be racist?
That's true.
Is that like you're letting content that can perpetuate racism, and you're saying it's okay? It sounds like you're saying it's okay if no action happens yet. But do you think is it too late if the action happens once they see it?
I don't know, because this whole like, it's such a weird thing, because the internet's not regulated.
That's the thing, right? So, and then it gets to the point of like, okay, how do you control the internet? You can't
And it's
control
like,
the internet.
should you control the internet?
No.
You know what I mean? Like, because here's the thing. I think Donald Trump should get the fuck out. I'm glad he got canceled because he fucking, the shit he's saying was, he fucking, 6 people died at the Capitol riots and shit.
But see, you didn't know that he would do that.
But he's also a president.
Okay.
I think if he wasn't president, I'd be fine with him being on Twitter and shit. But because he was a world leader, he should get the fuck off Twitter.
But sure, let's say if it wasn't Trump and this random dude is making content and nothing happens yet. And
There's millions of those guys out there.
but only cancel him when people take his content and start killing people because of his content. Or
I don't think cancel. I think they should be criminally liable.
Mm.
I wouldn't say cancel. I think they should be genuinely like. I think criminal charges should be brought up.
Okay, so they only become liable when their content that they've been making for a while actually gets attention.
I see it like this. Like, remember that girl that kept texting her boyfriend to kill himself, and he actually killed himself,
Okay.
and she got held liable.
Uh-huh.
I think that should apply to someone saying kill all black people, and someone actually takes their word. It's obvious that they listened to this person. It's obvious they took that message from that person and actually killed someone.
Right. But shouldn't they be liable before any consequences happen?
No, because that's illegal. You can't just charge someone for no.
But they can be removed from the platform. You're saying don't remove them from the platform. It's hard.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, because it's much more severe.
I think if it's straight up, like it's clear that this guy has this offense, not offensive, but there's a motive to be discriminatory and sexist, and he's promoting violence, that should be removed.
Promoting violence, you should get off.
Right.
But being sexist, I don't think is. I don't know if that.
I don't know, honestly.
That's like on the borderline, I feel like.
Depends on the level of sexism.
Yeah. But I feel like that's on the borderline of shit, because it's like, it low-key gets into territories like, are you just offended, or is this genuinely dangerous?
That's the line, right?
I feel like that's where I draw a line. Like, genuine, like, go beat up someone, go kill someone, that should be off the internet.
Okay, how do you determine if it's just straight up offensive? If there's no violence? If it's like, oh, I think women should just stay at home and make sandwiches for me.
You shouldn't get canceled for that.
Okay.
Well, I mean, obviously it's wrong.
It's wrong.
That's fucking crazy.
And let them have the hate backlash.
But removing their platform for saying that, or trying to cancel them for that, I feel like it's a little much. Like, just say they're an asshole.
But don't you think the cancel's gonna... Okay, don't... Quote unquote canceling is gonna happen because people are gonna comment on it and be like, what the hell are you doing? But don't remove it from the platform, from the...
I feel like that's not severe enough.
Okay.
But also, like, I'm a dude, right? I'm a fucking straight dude, so I don't get... And I'm also very laid back. So I don't get offended by anything, really. Like, I don't get offended by much, so I see it much more differently. There's obviously people out there who get offended by very small shit and take it very seriously for backstory, whatever it is, so I can see where they're coming from. But for me, I'm just like, at the end of the day, there's always gonna be someone else saying that shit. Like, there's always gonna be another Donald Trump. There's always gonna be another Andrew Tate. There's always gonna be another fucking Sneeko. There's always gonna be fucking another super left-wing person. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, I don't know. It's the line between cancel and being straight up violent and...
The violence should be canceled.
Sure, violence
should be taken off
obviously.
Platforms. But just being offensive, I don't think should be taken off platforms. Like, I think you should just let them be there so people can actually formulate a genuine opinion.
If it's content that is offensive, but it allows for important conversations to be held, that type of content should stay on.
Like, Donald Trump being elected into office, as fucked up as he was, it opened the door for a conversation like, yo, America's still super racist. You thought just because we voted in Obama doesn't mean America's not racist anymore.
Right.
And it helped remind people that, and also remind people how important it is to vote.
If it opens the door to conversation, it should be allowed on the platform.
Yeah.
But if it's...
People be shooting like it. That's crazy.
Yeah. Is it hunting?
We should go to a gun range.
I want to go to
Let's
gun
do it.
range.
Let's go to a gun range. I was gonna get a gun license with my friend a while back. But then I kind of realized, like, you know what? I'm not gonna own a gun for mad long.
Yeah.
So why the fuck am I gonna keep renewing this license? So I just didn't bother doing it.
Yeah, I always wanted to shoot a gun.
Would you have guns in your house?
Yeah.
Yeah? I would too.
A pistol.
Yeah, probably.
Just one day. But
I
you don't tell the kids where it is.
I would tell my kids.
You don't tell the spouse where it is.
I would tell everyone in the house should know where it is.
Okay, yeah.
Everyone in the house should know where it is. They should know the safe. They should know how to use it. I feel like. Because then the chance of them shooting themselves or shooting someone accidentally is much lower.
No, you're right, yeah. I tell everyone in the house where it is and teach them how to use it.
Yeah. Like, I would bring them to the gun range and shit, be like, this is how you use it. Always The one thing people always have to remember is that if you have a gun, you gotta treat it like it's loaded no matter what.
Right.
Even if you're just looking at it, treat it like it's loaded. Don't have your hand anywhere near that trigger.
Even if it's a prop gun?
Well, prop gun's different because you're not gonna kill anyone.
Well, Alec Baldwin.
Oh, those prop guns. That's not real. You know prop guns aren't real, right? It's a legit gun with blanks in it. Like, they're shooting legitimate guns with
Why
blanks.
the hell is it loaded then? I don't know what that happened. I don't know what happened with him.
But yeah, if like you always gotta treat a gun like it's loaded. Like you can't just fucking like look at it and like have your finger like no, don't do that. Treat it like it's loaded. Even if the clip's empty and there's nothing, still treat it like it's loaded.
So, thank you for listening. Thank you. This wraps up episode 39.
Yeah.
In this nice, naturey, in the sun, with your London fog.
Yeah.
We're just chilling, having meaningful conversations, or unmeaningful, meaningless, meaningful conversations.
At the end of the day, nothing really matters.
Nothing matters. We're all gonna die.
We're all gonna die one day. So it is what it is.
It is what it is. So since we're all gonna die, why not give us a follow?
Yeah, subscribe.
Hit
the notification bell so you can catch every upload we make.
Yeah.
Until our demise.
Follow our TikToks and Instagrams for more engaging short form content.
Yeah. Follow us on Instagram.
Yeah. Reach out. You know, we've been getting some sponsors.
Yeah. We gotta start reaching out as well. We gotta start taking this more seriously. We're almost a year in.
I take this more seriously.
We're almost a year in.
We gotta take this more seriously. Buy some hoodies. Yeah. Banana code 10.
Subculture.
Banana Boys 10 for 10% off. And we get small
It'll
commission.
be linked below. We got added to our
It's already added.
Beacons?
Yeah.
Okay, because I was gonna ask you for the password. I forgot what the password was that time.
Oh, I don't remember the password.
Oh, you just have it logged in?
Yeah. I'll check.
Yeah. Is that it?
That's it.
Yeah. We gotta shoot some B-roll for these hoodies.
Yes.
We'll
see you next week.
Maybe.
Episode 40.
Episode 40. That's crazy.
It's crazy. It's a crazy world we live in. Goodbye.
Yeah.